Mackey Motors in Lake City is the place to find new and certified used vehicles, along with a knowledgeable and helpful sales staff. Find new roads at Mackey Motors in Lake City.
Motors post-game show. Gabe Obert with the Coon Bayard Crusaders joining us here. I was just teasing him during the break here that he had a nice dunk tonight. I was wondering if he still had those hops. He says they're still there. It's just time and place.
Yeah.
Take us through that play, because you said you had a similar one here just 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago we ran the same play. I mean, it's just if the defender's playing me too hard, you just cut back door. Tanner Oswald throws great passes, and you just got to finish them. So that's pretty much it.
Gabe, you guys coming off two really tough losses, some missed free throws kind of costing you guys games earlier this week. How important was it tonight to come out with the start this team did tonight?
Yeah, we came out pretty good, solid. I mean, our shots were falling, our defense was doing pretty good. We really needed this coming into the January games, and I think we played pretty well tonight.
Talk about the defensive effort. Didn't give up double digits in any quarter here tonight. After falling down 3-0, you guys really jumped out in this one. I thought the defense kind of set the tempo. Talk about what you thought went well defensively.
Yeah, we take a lot of pride in defense, communication. Meyer always talks about in practice, so we take a lot of pride at that, CRB, and we just executed well tonight on the defensive end.
How focused were you guys coming into this one with it being a rivalry game? I know you were joking with Caden Smith, who we'll talk to here in a little bit. You guys get along really well, but this Coon Glidden game still means something.
Yeah, the Coon Glidden game, it's always been a rivalry. It always will be. Every time you play Glidden, they always play their best game for us, and we always got to come prepared for that. So, I mean, it's fun playing these guys. Rivalry is still alive, but it's fun.
Sitting right about 500. I think this team's got a chance though to make a run here and kind of go on something special here the second half of the season. What do you guys got to do that?
We just need to stay focused and practice. Come out with the same confidence we had tonight. Stay strict on the defensive end, and I think we could have a good run this season.
Got banged up a little bit in the football season. How close are you to 100%? You feeling pretty good right now?
Yeah, I dislocated my shoulder in the football season, my right shoulder, so I kind of came in a little timid this year, but I'm probably at 90%, so I'm getting pretty close to normal.
Well, I tell you what, fun to watch you play. Congrats on the win tonight. Thanks for coming up.
Yep, thanks, Jeff.
You bet. Gabe Obert again joining us. We're going to get head coach Cory Meyer over here real quick, and we'll get the Crusaders wrapped up. Then we'll talk with the Wildcats here tonight as well. So any Glidden Ralston fans, we'll get you guys covered here in just a moment as well, as head coach Cory Meyer now joining us. And Coach, got to be pleased. We got a good win here tonight. This is usually a place that gives you guys fits. We've talked about that over in the years, but tonight you guys came out and really came out and put on a pretty good show.
Yeah, we talked about that. Obviously, we have not played well over here the last few years, and that's, I think, more than anything, credit to them and maybe not so much us. They've got up for this game, and we haven't. We've been a little bit flat when we came over here and played the last couple of years, and I thought tonight we came out with really good energy from the start.
Defensively, had to be happy with that tonight.
Yeah, our defense has been good all year. It's our problem's been really on the offensive end. So I thought we did a good job pressuring their guards. We didn't want Smith to catch it on the block, and so we felt if we could pressure them on the perimeter, make those passings inside difficult, we'd have a lot of success.
I mentioned something late tonight, Easton Hayes. If you guys can get 8, 10, 12 points out of him every night, he had a good game offensively tonight. This team could become a different ball club.
Yeah, and I think a lot of those points came off steals and push-aheads or whatever, where we threw it ahead. And Easton, he's one of the more competitive kids I've ever coached. He plays his tail off defensively. If he can get into lane, he's got a shot at scoring.
What did you see from your offense tonight? Did you see some growth?
Well, we spent some time after our last loss against Bayard Valley just talking about some things that we've got to improve on offense, and one of them was when we get a defensive stop or we get a steal, pushing the ball ahead and making the defense work. And I thought we did a much better job of that in the first half. Second half, I thought we took some quick shots early. We didn't even really try to attack their man-to-man. We just took some quick ones, but other than that, I was pretty happy.
Coach, 3 games already in the week. You come back to action Monday, I think, with Woodward Academy. So a lot of games here early. How important was this to get this one just for a confidence boost heading into Monday night?
Well, it was important. Obviously, this is a tough place to play over here, and he's got them playing hard. They played hard defensively. We only scored 52 points. So this is a big game for us, and like you said, we got Woodward Academy next week, and then we got Peyton Sheridan too, I believe. So.
Well, Coach, appreciate you joining us
Thank
here
you.
tonight. Congratulations
Thank
on the
you.
win.
Thanks for the coverage.
You bet.
Appreciate
We'll
it.
get Caden Smith with Glidden Ralston working his way over here. We'll get him on in the post game here tonight. Then we'll talk with the Wildcat head coach Tyler Shipley, who is waiting on us as well as Caden getting himself set up here into the post game area. And Caden, I appreciate you waiting. You were the first guy up here. You're the third person I talked to here in the post game, so appreciate the time. You just heard Coach Meyer probably talking. They didn't want to get you started down in the post. How did you feel like they defended you here tonight, and what was effective about it?
That kid down there, I believe Clayberg, he's a pretty big kid. It was just hard getting anything going down there. He had really good post defense, and they just were defending the ball like no other, and we couldn't get things going down low, which we kind of talked about that all week in practice, that we were going to try and get the ball down low, and we just couldn't get that going.
How were you trying to counter that? How were you trying to be big? You're a big, strong guy as well. How were you trying to get that post play position down in there?
We usually work, so once the ball's on my side, I usually try and post up hard in there and try and just put all my body into that, but that just wasn't working very well, so I couldn't really get anything going at all. So.
Were they doubling you from somewhere, or was it just one-on-one kind of down in the block when you got it?
It mixed every now and again. Sometimes they'd double me on that weak side, and then sometimes I'd just be one-on-one trying to get it open, and that just didn't happen.
What was available for you on kick passes? I know you found Kale, I think, a few times for some threes, but what were you seeing as far as kicking out for shooters?
We definitely could have worked the ball in a little more, and then I could have kicked it out some inside and out, some of that to get some three-pointers going, but otherwise, they had some really good defense out there tonight.
Senior year, what are you hoping to take away from this year? It's kind of hard to believe. I remember you coming in as a freshman, and I was really impressed with you. And now all of a sudden, this is your last year, so it went quick. What are you hoping to see here this year?
I just really hope to have some good fun for the rest of the season. The scoreboard doesn't really reflect anything in our team. We have a really solid team. We just need to put it all together one night, so I'm just hoping for a good, fun rest of the season, hoping we can get some wins the rest of the year.
Well, I tell you what, appreciate you coming up here tonight. No, it's not always easy to talk after a loss, so appreciate you coming up. Have a great one. Enjoy your weekend, man.
You too. Thank
you bet. Caden Smith again with the Glidden Ralston Wildcats. We're going to get head coach now, Tyler Shipley, over here, and he'll join us here on the broadcast as well. And Coach, appreciate you joining us here tonight. I know a tough loss for the guys tonight. I kind of mentioned it right at the beginning of the postgame that it just seems like offensive woes. You guys struggled in the second half against Cam earlier this week, and tonight kind of those same struggles. Only 8 points in the first quarter, your highest scoring quarter here tonight.
Yeah, that's kind of been the story all year long for us. It's tough because, we've looked at film a lot. Feel like we're getting some decent looks at times, and shots just aren't falling right now. It seems like we got one guy that shoots, pretty decent most games. Tonight it was Cale. He hit 4 threes. It's just got to be one of those games, or I'm waiting for one of those games where we get everybody hitting, because I know we can put more points up than what we have been. But yeah, it's just been a struggle all year for us.
And you've got shooters. Clocky can shoot. We saw that tonight. Caden Smith's a solid player inside. Ethan Oberding, I really like watching that kid. He plays so hard, can get to the rim, can also shoot. So eventually you got to feel like it's going to tip the other way. Eventually.
That's what I keep waiting for. But, it's one of those things we got to keep working at it. I think a couple things that we could probably do a little bit better is get the ball down low to Caden a little bit more. He played as a sophomore and averaged close to 9 points a game, and I think he's only sitting at like 4 right now. So, and part of that's just we got to get the ball to him quicker, and then that's just going to open up more for our shooters on the outside. So right now, Cale and Ethan are good players, and they try to kind of take a lot of that burden right now, and I think we need to kind of move the ball a little bit more and play more together as a team, and even look for Tyler down low occasionally, and that's going to kind of open stuff up for everybody.
Coach Meyer just mentioned you guys held them to 52. He thought you guys had a good defensive effort. Your thoughts on how the defense played? Because most of the time you hold the team to 52, you're going to have a chance.
Yeah, and that's kind of been, like I said, our story all year long is that our defense is solid. We've been holding teams to 50s, some 40s, and even some 30 games too. So, we just got to get our offense to catch up. We switched and we started working on some man-to-man over break. And honestly, I thought our guys did a really good job tonight. We lost what's his name? I just went blank.
I know
Obert had 2 threes, and Oswald had 3 threes.
Yep.
So I don't know why I couldn't think of their names all of a sudden, but
it happens, Coach.
We talked about that pregame, that those 2 guys were the only ones that really looked to attempt 3-pointers out there, and we just kind of lost track of them. I think they had like a 16-0 run there in the second quarter, which outside of that, I thought we played them pretty close. So yeah, it's just one of those. things where, you know, we got to kind of get our offense to keep up with our defense a little bit.
Got a little time off again. I know you're just coming off a break, and now you only had 2 games. Now you don't play again until next Friday against Exira. What do you focus on? Is just getting a lot of shots up? I'm sure that's something you're probably doing anyway.
Yeah, and we do. We try to get, we do at least a good 20 minutes of shooting just about every practice. So, you know, it's that, and I think we just got to, I keep telling our guys, we got to kind of pick up our intensity in practice, because, you know, the game intensity and our practice intensity is definitely, you know, not on the same level. And I think that's our problem, because, you know, we actually look fairly decent offensively in practice most of the time. We get pretty good open shots, and guys are hitting in practice. And I think the thing is when we get into games, all of a sudden that defense is just a little bit closer. We got our hands in our faces. You know, guys are helping out and things like that, so it's a little tougher. So we got to kind of bridge that gap a little bit in practice and game intensity.
Well, Coach, appreciate you hanging around and waiting to talk to us here tonight.
Yep,
Letting the Coon guys go in first. Appreciate you joining us here tonight. Enjoy kind of some of the weekend, and best luck coming up Friday against Exira.
Thanks, Jeff.
You bet. Tyler Shipley again with the Glidden Ralston Wildcats.